Hi guys, what's up? Thank you so much for watching Mostly Sane. I am Prajakta. Welcome back to another Real Talk Tuesday video. And this Tuesday is sort of like a requested one. I am, by the way, on the sets of Galiya Pagals episode 2. Everyone is behind me, and I'm gonna speak in this volume because it takes going on right there, so I cannot speak very loudly. But I had to make this video. So every time I read, a lot of y'all are like, give us a review. What book are you reading? What is it called? How is it? So I thought I'll make this video called 6 books you should read if you hate reading, because these 6 books are super easy, they're super fun, and I wouldn't call myself like a reader because I know friends who have like rooms filled with books. I am more of I fall into that cycle every now and then, but I have 6 books that I absolutely love, and I have a feeling if you and I are alike in so many other ways, you might actually like these books. Alright, so I'm just gonna shift to one side so I can put the picture of the book here. Awesome. Book number 1 is The Diary of a Young Girl. It's my favorite book in the whole world. To tell you a little about it, it's a personal diary of this girl called Anne Frank. I'm sure you guys learnt about her in school. I think we had a lesson in English. She was Jewish. She was based in Amsterdam, and they actually went into hiding when Hitler announced that he wants all Jews assembled at those military concentration camps, and that's when her family went into hiding, and how they survived as long as they could, but then blah 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 happened. You should read that book. It's a very inspiring, it's a very personal, it's written by a 13-year-old girl, but it's so mature. At the same time, it's so innocent. I love it. I absolutely love it. I've read that book like 4 times, and I don't mind reading one more time. Book number 2 is my second favorite thing in the world. It's Norwegian Wood by Haruki Murakami. Now, when it comes to reading Murakami, not that I've read all of his work, but I've read, I think, 4 books by him. And I felt that Norwegian Wood is a very good way to start reading Murakami, because Murakami is very, to me, it's very psychedelic, it's very therapeutic, and when you read a Murakami book, it takes you days to get out of that plot. It's not easy. Also, Norwegian Wood is a love story, so it's sort of like a nice way to get into his work, to understand. It's an easier text to understand, because Murakami used to write in the 80s, and even back then his writing was so advanced. It was so today, it's crazy. Like, I absolutely love him. Not that I enjoyed every book I read, but Norwegian Wood, oh my gosh. There's also a movie on that book, I think, in Japanese, but I haven't watched that. The book is beautiful. It's one of the most beautiful things I've read in my life. Number 3 is Chiclet, and that's The Devil Wears Prada by Lauren Weisberger. I actually saw the movie before I read the book, and then I read the sequel to the book, which is called Revenge Wears Prada. I did not like the sequel so much, but I really like the book. I feel like although the movie is amazing, like Anne Hathaway and Meryl Streep are great, the book is even better. So I think it's one of my favorite in the chick-lit category. Chick-lit is basically chick literature. It's like chick flicks, but with books. Number 4 and number 5 are actually autobiographies. And number 4 is A Princess Remembers by Rajmata Gayatri Devi. Now, I have grown up loving Rajasthan for what it is. If you guys have seen my videos, if you have seen my Insta posts, you'll know that I keep going to Jaipur, and I keep visiting the City Palace. I keep visiting all these places that I've been to like a zillion times before, because I love it. I love the idea of royalty. I love the idea of palaces. That's where I'm gonna get married, by the way. Just letting you know, keep your dates free. But yeah, and Gayatri Devi was Maharaja Jai Singh's wife. She was a Maharani, and I like the book even more. She's written A Princess Remembers, and it starts from her childhood days. I like it even more because it feels so much like a personal family album, because there are so many pictures, which makes it doesn't matter how old you are, by the way, if there are pictures in a book, it's gonna sell. Although she was so elite and so graceful, but her writing it's something else. It's really honest and polite at the same time. It's really nice. You should read it. So it's called A Princess Remembers. Autobiography number 2 and book number 5 is An Unsuitable Boy by Karan Johar. Now, again, so many people say so many things about him, but I think there are 2 people I absolutely love in the world. One is Ellen, second is Karan Johar. I think his screen presence is great. His sense of humor is amazing. He's there everywhere that I've had the pleasure of meeting him a couple of times, and he is nothing different in person. He's just like he is on screen. And then again, his book, very honest. Like, there's this one idea behind his book where he's like, I'm not entitled to talk about my sexuality to anybody, and he's made that very clear. And it's not just about a story of a man, it's also about us as people who look at some people differently. An Unsuitable Boy by Karan Johar. And finally, number 6 is Asura by Anant Neelkanthan. Now, I had the pleasure of meeting him at a literature festival when I was working in radio. I actually interviewed him when he told me the plot, and then I got intrigued and I read the book. It's basically Ramayan, but from Ravan's perspective. It's a very fresh take on what we have been taught all our life and what we've been following very blindly. So I think these are the 6 books that I absolutely love. I'm sure there are more books that I have read, but these 6 just have stayed with me. It's one of those things that you want to start reading on a flight or do between work or something like that. Alright, so these are the 6 books that you should try reading if you hate reading, because these are, I feel like if you read these, you're going to start getting used to reading. And while we're on the topic of reading, you might actually also want to read my blogs. Haha. That was a cool segue. I'm a blogger now, bro. I have a few blogs up on my website. Link is in the description. Go read them, leave a comment, good, bad, whatever. I want to know. Alright, I think that's about it. Let me know which books you would suggest for me to read, because right now I'm reading Sapiens, but I really want to try reading a new book. So if you have anything that's light-hearted, chiclets as good as anything else, so make sure you leave it in the comments below. If you like this video, make sure you give it a big fat thumbs up, because I come up with new videos every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday. I have a fun video planned for Thursday which I'm going to shoot tomorrow. I have a feeling you might have guessed since I made an announcement about it on my Instagram. Speaking of which, you should follow me there. It's at MostlySane. Shameless plug. I'm gonna go now. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you'll get notified every time I'm on YouTube. I'll see you guys again on Thursday. Until we meet, love.